Welcome to News, Booze, and What We Choose with Danielle and Dami.
Where headlines meet happy hour. So grab a drink, get the news, and come hang out with us.
Cheers.
Cheers!
What are
Yay!
you drinking?
I'm drinking a blackberry coconut margarita. And Chad did not help me out this time. I actually asked him and he failed me, and I was like, I got this, bitch.
What did he try to make you like a
Ew.
dirty Larry or whatever, a random ass drink? You're like, I don't want to put milk in my drink tonight.
No, I just told him, I was like, hey, like, listen, I have all the things I said above, and I have coconut water. Like, I thought that would be a cue for him to know that, like, I really want something with coconut water. And he was like, great, I got it for you. And he kept saying the acai juice. And I was like, no, not feeling that, like more coconut water. And he was like, okay, I got you. And then he did it again, but it had
You're like,
acai.
can you expand your bartender horizon?
But also, all of his drinks are builds. So that means like you pouring your mixes, your drinks and stuff, the liquor on top, and it's building versus like shaken and put it into a martini glass, or like there's different ways to make a cocktail. And so I was only seeing a build. And so it's like, even though I made a build, which is funny, but I was like, I got you. So I muddled some blackberries. I put in some of my passion fruit syrup, and I did some coconut water and tequila, and then I topped it off with some what do I do? Like soda water? I forget. But anyways, it's delicious.
I can't wait to see what you come up with when I see you 2 weekends from now. So I'll be there in 2 weekends.
I'm actually
But
going to like go off next, like, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have like an actual plan. Like I'm gonna get out a notepad and like specifically like go crazy on you. Yeah. It's not gonna
you're
be like
like
in
last
the
minute Chad,
no,
and he
no, no,
goes, acai, blah, blah, blah. You're like, damn
no.
it.
No, it's gonna be thought out. I just have something to get to this weekend, and then you're in my mind the whole week. What are
Yay.
you drinking?
I'm drinking, so I'm so used to apothic wines being just always black label. I
Yeah.
didn't know that they have white labels.
Oh, I think I've seen that. Yeah.
It's a Cabernet. It's a 2022 Cabernet, silky and full-bodied. It's delicious. The only thing with Cabernets or red wines in general from Apothic, I don't think I've ever even had a white from Apothic, but the only things they're really
Oh,
delicious, but I usually have a headache after, so I actually had to do my precursor very The Office when Angela's like, I don't have a headache, I'm just preparing, and I had to take like Tylenol now because I know I'm gonna have a headache.
that's what I do
Anytime
too. Yeah.
anytime I drink Apothic wine, I get a headache and it sucks. So it's like halfway through I'll like be enjoying my wine and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I have a headache now. I'm like not enjoying it. So I took a Tylenol, but I also took my charcoal pills too to alleviate any headache tomorrow.
Can you bring those when we see
Yeah.
each other?
Oh, always. I come if I know I'm gonna drink, I bring my charcoal pills and it actually does really help.
Yeah, I
Because
can see.
there was one time I ran out
Mhm.
and I was like, oh, this is a hangover. This is a hangover. Oh my God, it's a hangover. And I just drink wine. But I don't get that way if I t drink with two charcoal pills, like maybe like half an hour beforehand.
So that's a great tip, but also not selling a apothecary. Is that what it's called? No,
Apothic wine.
apothic wine. So let's not check. But let's check
Um,
charcoal.
if you want a headache, drink Apothic.
But let's tag the charcoal in there because that's a great tip. And actually, my tip, my like hangover tip is to grab a liquid IV before you go to bed. Down that, finish it. In fact, drink it before and after you drink. And then what you do, here's my tip. You take a Tylenol before bed, you have a big glass of water, and you're gonna wake up no matter what. If you're actually really drinking, you're probably gonna wake up throughout the night. You're not gonna get great sleep. You might be snoring, whatever it is. Instead of like forcing yourself back to bed, drink little sips of water throughout the night. I promise you, you will feel so much better. You won't regret it.
And I usually do I'll drink so much water to the point where I wake up in the middle of the night to go pee and then I'll go back to bed and I actually wake up fine.
Hmm.
So I also heard about this, which is called the purple, it's of course not gonna let me show, but it's called the purple tree.
Mhm.
Um,
True.
nope. Okay. Purple tree for great day after celebrating, and it's specifically something that is meant to replenish your liver, rapid hydration, and body replenisher for post-celebration, aka post-drinking. It's called Purple Tree. You can get it on Amazon, but I've actually heard that. So I listen to the Stassi podcast, but I also listen to their Patreon. I'm a subscriber for years now, but it's to the Good, the Bad, the Baby, and it's Stassi and her husband. So if you watch Vanderpump Rules or Vanderpump Villa, you'll know exactly who I'm talking about. Her husband actually gave the recommendation, and I looked into it, and it has phenomenal ratings. You take two tablets right before you drink, and you can like mix drinks and stuff, and you can feel fantastic the next day.
I love that. I'll
Yeah,
try
and they have
that.
two little kids, so it's like they can't sacrifice feeling like shit the next day. Anywho, um, anywho,
All
I
right.
yeah. So since we last cheers,
Hmm.
what have you been up to?
Oh my goodness. Honestly, it was a lot of work, and boring, boring, boring. But it's just been such a nice week with the boys too, like in the off, off work hours. Like my boys going through a sleep regression and now we're not. So they're in their big boy beds now, which just toddler beds. But they're sleeping through the night. Thank God. And they're like almost making it to 7 a.m.
Oh my
Like
God, I'm so jealous.
yeah, 6:45, but they stay in there till 7. And like them like putting them down isn't that hard. They instantly go to bed. So they've kind of just gone back to like their like nice angel like sleep routine, which means that I have more time to be a human. I've
Wait a
also just
second. Did you only have a sleep regression for a week?
no, I think it was like a good 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh my God, you're so lucky.
Yeah, it was a good, like they were crawling out of their cribs and freaking wreaking havoc. We put like baby proofing like their closet doors. Holy shit, the fucking closet door.
I forgot which kind of doors do you have again?
Ooh. They're just like sliding doors, but
Yeah.
they were just like slamming them. And I've slammed my fingers on those doors multiple times. So you can imagine my freaking anxiety watching them slam the door.
What
They
is
were
up with the kids and the door? That's Wyatt. He likes to slam the door. I'm like, you're gonna grip break your fingers. Please
Oh, well,
stop.
imagine having another Wyatt being in the way of that slamming door. You're just like, Jesus Christ. And then they were like trying to open the door. They were taking books and throwing them. They were taking all their diapers and throwing. It was freaking hell. So anyway, so now we are back to normal-ishness. We went tonight to like we call it Sandbox, which it's Almanac Brewing in Oakland, and it's such a nice little area. They have like this like open market with all kinds of different like food vendors, and then there's a giant freaking sandbox. And the boys know like if you show them a toy that belongs in a sandbox, just like out of context, they're like, sandbox. Like, I will bring this to Sandbox, Mom. So we bought them new toys to bring to Sandbox, and they just had a blast. Like,
And they probably love the routine too, because like I know if I know I'm going to the library and I say that to Forrest, he'll know, ooh, I can play with the whatever the theme is. Yeah.
oh, yeah. Yeah, they just loved it. So I had a really great week. And then tomorrow, so as we all know, happy Mother's Day to the moms out there and to Danielle and to me.
And to you.
Tomorrow is Mexican Mother's Day. Also,
Oh,
my grandmother's birthday. She's almost 100 years old. Um, born in 1928, so not yet, but tomorrow, my great, amazing, one of my best friends, other Danielle. I don't know if you know this, but you do know this, Danielle, but
Yeah.
I hilariously have this thing unintentionally where I have multiple best friends named Danielle
Well,
or
I think we talked
Danielle.
about this where we
We
have a
did.
picture and we'll post it in our story for a friendly reminder, but not only you have Danielle, 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 but then on Charlie's side, he has Daniel, Daniel.
Yeah. He has two Daniels, but now he has one Daniel. Wah, wah. I mean, that one Daniel is enough. So, anyway, so my other Danielle bestie, is throwing a cake party, which
Wait,
is
is this different than her cake thing she always goes to, where they get like a box and they get like 20,000 slices of cake?
so I signed up for that too. So I think it's at the De Young Museum, and I am gonna look it up. And before the end of this episode, I will confirm that. But I'm pretty sure it's the De Young Museum in San Francisco hosts a cake party. And so I saw the pictures, and I was like, holy shit!
No, she
If
did. She's done it the last couple of
I
years.
need
I've
to
seen her
go.
story.
Yeah, I'm like, I need to go to this cake party. So I signed up for it, and then it just happened to fall on a day that I like absolutely could not go. Obviously, she has other friends. She's a very amazing, beautiful, and
No,
cool.
you're only
And
allowed
they,
to have one friend.
you only have one friend, and it's me. And so anyway, so her other friends couldn't like actually get tickets into it. So like I didn't even try, but her other friends were like, they sold out so quickly. So she is hosting her
Damn.
own cake party, which I freaking love. And so I was supposed to tonight bake a cake. After this podcast, I'm gonna have to figure that shit out because I need to bake a cake
What kind
ASAP.
of cake are you gonna bake?
I have a few options. I
I
will
have an
pull.
amazing old school carrot cake recipe. My stepmom's killer cake cut up.
Oh,
No,
okay.
your audio is not messing up. That was me. I could not say carrot cake for some reason. But I have that if you need that.
I have a horrible memory of making a carrot cake where I was literally there for like 2 hours, literally grating the carrots, and
No,
then
girl, you use a food processor.
Charlie came in 2 hours later and said, "Why did you use the food processor?"
Oh my
And
God, honey, baby,
died.
sweetie.
I died inside. I was like, I'm
Yeah,
here.
girl. No, you know what's funny is when my stepmom was visiting last year during the whole hullabaloo, right before she went back, she made her famous carrot cake from my childhood. She's been in my life since like for as long as I can remember, honestly. Um, but no, she's such a fucking awesome like baker and she actually cooks. She's a really good cook, but she's an awesome baker. So she made the carrot cake and I she's like, "Oh, where's your grater?" I was like, "Oh, let me just," and I pulled out the food processor with it. She did it in like 4 seconds and she's like, "Oh,
Oh no, she's
she's used to your method too, where she's just like hand
oh
grating away."
no. Okay, here are my options. Okay,
Okay.
limoncello mascarpone cake. It's an Italian
Ooh,
cake. It's fucking
fancy.
delicious. Um,
Fancy.
blueberry jam cream cheesecake,
Eh.
lemon pistachio cake, mandarin orange
Ooh,
cake,
no.
London fog Earl Grey tea cake.
Ooh,
No, I will like that one too. A berry chantilly cake. I felt like it's like a classic, and it feels like I could see that. I
that
also
feels like
was
no, that feels seasonal.
it does. I was also thinking a strawberry shortcake, but I'm thinking like how many other friends does she have? And I bet you they're all gonna do a strawberry shortcake.
No, and also strawberries are now just in season, so I feel like you're gonna also see that through the summer or the beginning of the summer.
Yeah.
So a lot. Do either the first one or the Earl Grey and flip a coin.
First one. The first one was the limoncello mascarpone. That one.
Limoncello or the Earl Grey.
Okay, not a mandarin orange cake.
I memean, yeah, as long as you can make it look like exactly like a mandarin orange and have the little stem poking out of the top of the green leaf. Yes.
I'm not doing that. Okay, I like it. You know what? I'm gonna do the limoncello mascarpone because
There
I
you
feel
go.
That feels like a dog.
Delicious.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad we talked.
You're
And
welcome.
anyone who's listening, you're welcome. And I'm sorry.
If you have a link for it, give me
I
the link
do.
and I'll drop it in the description.
Yeah, we can do that. Absolutely. So
Fab.
since we last cheers, what have you been up to?
Well, I told you about that I was going to go to the regatta. Fantastic, fun times. So happy that I went. So fun.
Did you bring a
I,
cake?
huh?
Did you bring a mascarpone cake? Because it's a regatta. It just sounds like it goes together.
No, but I did bring two children to regatta and we had to take a shuttle over. So they got their first experience in a shuttle. So they got to
Oh.
ride in a vehicle without car seats. So
Mhm.
that was exciting for them. And then the regatta itself was really fun. I'm really glad I got to see the nanny family, the family that I nannied for. And it was so funny because Kelly, the mom, she's just like introing me to people. She's like, yeah, she was my old life partner. And then she goes into the storytelling of it all. She's like, I saw her more than I saw my husband, and she was like parenting my children more than I was. So she's my other life partner.
I have this like weird fantasy because Kelly looks and seems so cool, and I really want to just like have a girls like day with her with like
Oh
you,
my
me.
God. She is the coolest. I
I want
wish
her to
she
be my
still,
friend.
no, you would have loved it. So when I went and visited her last year,
Mhm.
obviously, last year, like middle of summer maybe, she had like Bryson had a soccer tournament, so we stayed the whole weekend. Bryson had a soccer tournament, the youngest, the boy that I watched too. And then they ended up having like an after party there for the soccer people. And then the same night, they had a party for the parents, like a neighbor party. So they were all like walking over house to house, like the neighborhood. So there
Yeah.
was like, I have not stayed up till 1 o'clock in the morning
Oh my God.
since becoming a parent. And I was up till 1 o'clock in the morning. And then, of course, like I was just like getting to know all these like awesome people and like they're
Mhm.
just always been really good hosts. Like Kurt was outside with the guys, like the husbands, and we were inside with like all the wives and the girlfriends and stuff. And it was funny because since it was a neighborhood one, there'd be people walking in and be like, hold on, I gotta go check. I gotta go get my teenager into the house or whatever. Then they'd be
Crazy.
like right across the street and then come back over and be like, yep, they're asleep. I came back. And they're like, it's midnight.
So funny.
It was
I hope that's that's
Oh my God, I hope so too. I wish we lived in the same cities because that would have been so fun. But I like just being a nanny for that family for so long. Like, I still on Instagram, I still follow a bunch of the moms that I became friends with because of being a nanny for them for so long because I would like be there all the
yeah.
time.
Yeah, you're part of the
Um, oh, well, I'm obviously her life partner or her ex-life partner. So, no, so definitely next time there's any kind of situation where I know like I'm gonna be visiting her, then I'll be like, hey, Damiana wants to meet you because you would get along. She's a party girl. She went to Chico.
I know. I could feel it that we're gonna be friends. Like
No,
I
she's so fun. She's like actually the one where like I would watch the boys. I'd watch Bryson and Charlie. Charlie's a girl. I'd watch them. I'm so used to just calling my kids boys, but I'd watch the kids and then they'd be asleep and I'd be like watching Law and Order SVU until they got home from a party or a gala or whatever they were had to do where I had to stay late. And she'd come in so tipsy and she'd fling her shoes off and throw her purse, like literally fling it across the room. And she'd be like, I need water and aspirin and bed. And I'd look at Kurt and I'd be like, fun times. He's like, yep. And because like he is such a balance, like I feel like they're like the perfect couple because
Yeah.
she's such like a high level, like where she can get on that level of just party fun times, like hostess with the mostest. He's such a host, but he's like a little bit more a
Reserved,
manicured
maybe.
host because he's
Yeah.
such a good time too. But it's like at the same time, it's like their personalities balance each other out so well that I'm like, ugh, you guys are literally stupendous and your kids are so lucky. And it's so funny because when
Oh.
I went to the regatta, Charlie, she's a coxswain, which is the person who yells at the rowers. So or it's not coxswain, it's coxswain. So she's,
Uh-huh.
I think because she's a girl. So she's the one that has like the microphone yelling at them to like, go, go, to go right, 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 whatever. So at the end, I learned so many things. Apparently, when you get out of the water, when the boat is done with the race, you go to the
Mhm.
side, and then when you're getting out, you, as a coxswain, cannot touch the water. You have to physically be lifted out of the boat, and it's like a ritual.
Oh, cute.
So you have to be
So you're
lifted out of the
like Madonna,
boat,
Lady
yeah,
Gaga. You're like,
and you get taken to shore. You cannot touch the water. And so I told her, I was like, yeah, it was so funny because I'm only known about rowing because of Ivy League movies where they always portray like the skull and bones, like the secret society people are always in the rowing club. And he's like, I could see that for Charlie. And I'm like, oh, I could see her totally being the one with the head cloak, be like, you are banished from this. Like, you are banished. How dare you? So it was
uh,
funny just because I got to like get to know like what this whole situation was because I've never been in a regatta, but
yeah.
it's good times. So apparently because she's on this league in Los Gatos, it's the Los Gatos Rowing Club. So she is going to have a bunch of regattas at this location because it's such a good area for people to actually be able to like camp out. So, oh my God, I'll tell you about it beforehand so you can come. You can stay here and then we can go together because Kelly even said, she's like, oh, if I knew this is how the whole setup was going to be, I'll bring a tent next time with a Bloody Mary bar and a mimosa bar, and we'll have like a whole thing of it. And I'll have like, because like other people were doing different things where they would have like a nacho bar, and she had no idea because it was the first time she's ever been to this location.
How fun. I love that. I want my boys to do like fun sports like that too. I can't
Oh,
wait to be like a sports mom, like whatever it is, wherever they land, whatever they want to do. I hope it's like the same
same.
sport so that I don't have to do like, you know what I mean? Like, can we consolidate it? But
You don't
whatever
have
it
to, no, you don't have to run to like two different sports at like different
is.
times. And then you're trying to like facilitate, like, well, he has a game at 5:15, but then he has a game at 5:45. How am I going to do both?
Like, I would hate it if they were like, I'm into hockey and I'm into rowing. I'd be like, no, you're not. Sorry.
Pick one.
But anyway, like I can't wait for that. That sounds like so much
They
fun.
can
Okay, but
only
wait,
do,
before
oh, wait, I was just going to say,
yeah.
they can do whatever they want as long as it's the same thing.
I know, but that also kind of sucks. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We'll burn that
Exactly.
bridge when we get there. Just kidding. Okay, but before we move on to the news, what are you doing for Mother's Day? Because you are a mom and you're a
Oh
damn
my
good one.
God.
So what are you
Thank
doing?
you. Well, um, this is actually the first Mother's Day
Hmm?
that I've had where I
Yes.
haven't had to plan diddly squat. And I'm actually doing something fun.
What are you doing? I love that.
So normally you always get like, I don't know, the listeners out there, if like they're, what do you want to do today? What do you want to do for Mother's Day? Where do you want to go for Mother's Day? It's like you have to come up with a plan. It's like, no, it's Mother's Day. We shouldn't have to think. For
Mm-mm.
fuck's sake, we think about everything all day, every day. For the love of God, just come up with a plan, man. Well, since I had no man, my cousin Cherie and my other cousin Justin, my cousin by blood is Justin. Um, I am so tempted to put up the blood sign, but I'm not going to. Um, but my cousin, his wife, Cherie, not by blood, um, she reached out to me on Friday when I was having my fun day Friday with the boys, and she goes, "Well, do you have plans on Mother's Day?" And I was like, "No." And she goes, "So I wanted to bring my mom to Chateau Duval, and it's like 45 minutes north of me. So she's like, I wanted to bring my mom to Chateau de Ball for a Mother's Day brunch, but I actually want to extend the invite to you and the boys to see if you wanted to come for Mother's Day. And then she told me the whole thing. She's like, it's a 4-course tasting meal. And she's like, the chef I already talked to, and he said he would 100% do a vegan tasting meal for you. So every course would be vegan. And then every course has its own pairing. So like one would be a mimosa, one would be a white, one would be a sparkling, one would be a red, blah, 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 blah. And then
Sweet.
she's like, and the boys can run around in the vineyard and all the stuff. And she's like, it would be our treat because you're such a badass mom. And then she goes through the whole thing of like making me feel really obviously I'm like, oh my God, I love you so much. And she's like, I just really want to treat you. And it's actually your cousin's idea, and Justin, that we treat you for that instead of having you like pay for your own Mother's Day brunch. She's like, but would you be free? And I was like, oh my God, yes. So this is the
This is
first
so sweet. Oh
first
my
time.
God.
And like I said, I lived in Paso Robles the entirety of me being a mom. So we moved there a month before Forrest was born. And I always wanted to go to a winery and never got that chance. And I always wanted to go to all these cool wineries that were like kid friendly, where the kids could roam around in the vineyard or could roam around in the gardens. And I never got that chance. And finally, I'm going to get that Mother's Day chance. So I'm
I
excited.
love it. This is exactly, you deserve this. Like this is perfect. This is like the family that you needed to rally around you and to be like, we got you. Like you do deserve this. So yes, and I'm so excited for you. And I agree, like moms out there, like it's our day to just like, don't bother me. Whatever you want me to
Stop.
do, just
Don't ask me for any opinion. Just do
no.
it. I don't care if it's like, oh, I'm going to take you to a pizza place. Cool. I didn't have to think about which pizza place. Like,
Exactly. Charlie told me we were going to brunch, and I said, perfect. I love it. I love a brunch. Give me champagne. I'm happy.
no, I saw this video where it was like, oh my God, what was it? It was like lyrics. Sorry, I had a freak out moment for speaking of moms. I had a freak out moment. My kid just opened the door. He did not. Okay. Anyway, I saw this reel that was so funny because she was like singing a song from like our youth. It was probably like early 2000s, or it was like a rap song. It's like, or no, it was like maybe it was like a Nicki Minaj, like one of her earlier songs, and it was like, I'll have and it's like listing off all the drinks she wants. She's like, every mom at Mother's Day brunch, I'll have a this and I'll have a that and I'll have a this and I'll have a that and I'll have a this and I'll have a that and I'll have a this and a little of that. Like,
I'm getting the bacon. I'm getting the champagne. I'm going all out. No, I just want to just like honestly, like today would have been a perfect Mother's Day too. Like it just like watching the boys just like have fun in an enclosed space too, where they run away and you're like, ha ha ha, you ain't getting anywhere,
gotcha.
sucker.
I know. Well, that's the only thing with vineyards. I'm like, okay, how far can you really run before I'm like, boys?
Yeah, come back.
And it's actually funny because I had a friend, so I have a really good since becoming single, I've actually been able to rehabilitate a couple of guy friendships that I had that are completely 100% platonic. One of them is with literally my first ex-boyfriend. He has a girlfriend, and this is the evidence that people can have platonic relationships
Yeah,
because
it
like
works.
we're very much like on that front of we'll share reels back and forth, or we'll share like funny posts back and forth, and it's totally platonic. And then I even like told him, I was like, oh my God, you should totally treat her to a date. And then he's like, that's actually a really good idea. Oh my God, I'm totally gonna do that. Like there's nothing there, guy. Like we're just friends, kind of like situation where it's like you don't have to read into it. We're literally just all friends, like hunky dory, woosah. And then I have another friend who was telling me about the same thing where it's like he had asked, he's like, what do you do for Father's Day? And I was like, oh, well, it's going to be my day too.
Yeah.
I'm going to celebrate Father's Day myself. And he's like, oh, oh, okay. Because then I went like a little
Yeah.
bit like, well, here's the why. But I basically just said, I was like, because he asked, so when it's a Mother's Day, do you want to like not see your kids at all? And like, would you rather have the dad like take the kids? I'm like, well, I don't have that option. But no, I like my kids. My kids are awesome. I feel like if my kids were shit, then I'd be like, yeah, take them, please. But my kids are cool. As long as they're
Yeah.
not battle royaling, trying to rip each other's faces off, like by all means, I love my kids. I want to spend every single fucking moment of my kids' life with them because I know they're not only going to be this little for so long, is what you're always told. And I feel that's true. They're only going to be this little for so long.
Yeah. I like being around my kiddos. I mean, I definitely have moments where I'm like, it's time for you to go to bed and I
It's
need
like the Lion King song. It's like, or the sound is like, it is time. It is
but
time.
But no, I adore them, and most of the time I'm stealing kisses because I know that that doesn't last forever. And I was guilting. I realized I caught myself. I was guilting Lucas, and I was like, "You haven't kissed me in so long.
Don't be that mom.
Give me a kiss, please."
Do you want to hear something that's really cute that might make you feel better?
Yeah.
So a friend of mine, Greta, I don't know if I told you this or not yet. It sounds familiar. It sounds like something I would have said already because I'm about to say a name that's like very unusual. So it sounds like something I already said out loud in front of the computer. Uh, my a friend, like an acquaintance mainly, but a friend that I've known since literally we met in a bathroom at the freaking Campbell Bar Cartoons. Literally met there because she had just gotten her boobs done. She's like, "You want to see them?" And that's how we met. And that was like literally like how we met as friends. And then she became friends with Brittany and all this stuff. But she posted something where it was like her 13-year-old son, 13-year-olds, keep that in mind. She says, she posted, she's like, "Oh my God, my son just walked up to me with a dandelion and said, I remember I used to pick these for you all the time when I was little. I wanted to pick one for you today because you deserve it." And she literally is like, I was a puddle. Like because they remember little moments. Like we don't know what their core memories are going to be. And it's like, I like to see those memes where it's like, hopefully the core memories are all these pleasant moments and these amazing trips that I gave you and not the times that I yelled at you about putting your fucking toys away for the 10,000th time. She's like, but I hope these are the core memories. But it's like
Fucking lunatic.
her son had the core memory of I used to pick dandelions for my mom. I'm
That's
gonna give her one today.
good. That is sweet. Yeah, no,
So
I think
cute.
that I have all the faith that they will be mama's boys through and through. That I'll get
Oh
little
my God.
ones.
Well, they have no option. They're only around me.
Yeah, so.
No, my favorite is when Wyatt, and this is like a big old intro of like our lives and stuff. So obviously I'll put a like a disclaimer at the top that I'll like, if you don't want to hear about us, why wouldn't you want to, you fucking horrible people? Like, but also it's like if you don't want to hear about all this hullabaloo, I'll put the timestamps in the description for the news
It's
and
our
all the
podcast.
stuff.
Like, guys,
Um,
this is what you get to know
but
us.
one of the things recently that Forrest does is when Wyatt throws something, because Wyatt is a thrower. I need to get that boy in like being a pitcher or a freaking quarterback of some sort because holy crap, he has aim. Like he deadlocks. I can see it on his face. He'll look directly at Forrest and then he'll go like this and he'll just it goes directly on Forrest's head. And I'm like, your aim and your speed is superb. Granted, I would rather you not aim it at your brother's head, but at the same time, I'm like, bravo, the aim is phenomenal.
You should get to give him like a little like setup or something like a net. Like
I'm
some
going to. And I'm thinking what I need to do because Wyatt or Forrest is more on the creative front. So he's very much like, I like to create, he likes
April.
model clay
Mhm.
models. He
Yeah.
likes to do painting. He's just wrote his name fully for the first time, and it was
I
oh my God,
saw that.
it was
Good
so
job.
cute because he goes, I got it, and I'm like, oh, yes, you did.
You did get it. You got it, bud.
Oh, it was so cute. But yeah, so I just think like I'm gonna have to get Wyatt into get a throwing net, and then for us, I'll just get more paints. So
Yeah. So, other Danielle just told me about, I thought this was a genius idea, and I don't know if they do it in all like communities, but she was talking about how there was a community event where you could bring your kid and they can try out different sports. Like it's like a big yeah, and it's like not that you're like playing a full game, but they get to like interact with the different right? I know, I was like genius. That's exactly what I needed as a kid. Because
no,
like,
because you
how do
don't
you
want
know?
to pay a freaking arm and a leg for a sport that they hate.
You want them to be interested. What a beautiful idea. Like, okay, pick up like like what is the instrument tool, whatever. What is, what is the equipment that you're going to be using? Like, are you even interested in this? Do you want to play hockey, field hockey,
Field hockey.
soccer,
I was
baseball, football? There's so many options. Like, despite even like girl, boy, whatever, like you could do whatever you want. So I
Oh
just
my
thought that
God,
was
I need to
so
look into that. That's
genius
so
idea.
genius.
I thought so too. So I would love to do that next year and like just see like what are they interested
What do
in?
you
And it probably
like?
changes too, because it might be like, you know.
Well, and you're like, for the love of God, pick the same thing. Well, no. So I got Forrest because technically he's too early for Taekwondo.
Mhm.
But I talked to the owner and she let him come in March. And he was like good halfway up till the halfway mark. And there was like too many instructions and he was like getting overwhelmed or he was like, I don't want to do it. Kind of like where he was just like, I'm done kind of thing. Where he was like a robot when they shut down, they're just like, I'm done. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to do this anymore. And he was just like getting overwhelmed. So she's like, okay, this is normal because he's under the age that we normally start them at. So give 2 more months. And so at the end of May, is when I'm supposed to take him in again for his like trial.
Mhm.
It's awesome because they literally say you pay $20 and it's a trial every 2 months until they get it. And then you pay the monthly.
Cute. I love that.
So, and then it's a free uniform. So I'm
Oh,
like, okay, hopefully by the second one, he likes it.
I
But
love
I
that
want to
this.
do that because of confidence and
Yeah.
self-discipline and all that stuff. Yeah.
I love that this is like it's Mother's Day weekend, and this is because Mom- my as me moms, which I love. Like I could talk about it literally all day, every
Well,
day.
because the thing is, I saw something that was like, when you worry if you're doing it right, is meaning you're a good mom because no bad mom would worry if they're doing it right.
Actually, you're right. And absolutely, I 100% agree. And you actually just reminded me. So I'm jumping ahead, but at the bottom we have pour one out for. I'm gonna bump mine up. I started reading Good Inside. Let me see. Good Inside. Yep, Good Inside by Dr. Becky Kennedy. And I was reading it on BART, and a lady was like, "Oh, Dr. Becky Kennedy," and I was like, "Yeah, I just started." And she's like, "What do you think?" And it's like, I just started, but it's pretty good." So,
Love that.
Dr. Becky Kennedy talks about like if you're reading this book, like you're already like it means you're don't beat yourself up, like you're doing great. And it's just like a parenting book, and it's really sweet. And also she has, I mean, I literally, like I said, just started it, so I haven't got to like the
You're like,
method.
I'm 2 pages in.
I think I'm like a chapter in, but like what I'm reading is like essentially like you disassociate the fact that like your kid's behavior versus like who your kid is. And that could go from like when they're two to like,
The
19.
dreaded teens.
The dreaded teens. Yeah. So she kind of covers all of that is the
Well, that
gist of.
kind of plays into the Kelly thing that so when I was at the regatta, she kind of alluded to the fact that Charlie is preteen. She's 12. She's about to be 13. She's literally going to be 13 next month. And I was like, oh, how's that going? And Kurt was first telling me like his perspective, and then Kelly was telling me her perspective. And she won't allow them to say hello to her or like talk to her in front of her friends. But then I was able to walk directly up to her and like talk to her. And she was like, oh, Wyatt, I haven't seen you in so long. And they're like, oh my God,
Oh.
they're like, oh my God, you talked to her. And I was like, well, also because like that was kind of how it was too when they were little. For me, I was very much like, oh, you don't get an option here, girl. I'm gonna say hello
Yeah,
to
yeah,
you
yeah.
regardless. I'm gonna cheer you on. I'm gonna yell Charlie like really loud, and I'm embarrass the fuck out of you. But I feel like even when they were younger, she would get embarrassed by her parents. But it's like that's kind of how it is. It's like, unfortunately, so if you're a nanny out there, you are the loved one, you are the Pope of it all, and we're gonna get to the Pope. But you are like the oh moment, and
Yeah.
the parents are very like, oh my God, you're so embarrassing. So that's you kind
Of
of have to
course.
take that. And I feel like we're gonna have to go through that. We're gonna have to talk to each other. Our kids are very close in age, and we're gonna have to go through those stints where I'm like, little shit won't talk to me because he's 14 years old and the other one's 12, so I'm screwed. And then you'll be like, no, no, it's fine. They're gonna totally pass it. And you'll be like, they just got to that stage. They hate me too.
I mean, yeah, it's I think parent like that's the gist of what I feel like I've been getting to is like every stage. you get this one like you have newborns. It's like people will tell you like every stage is just like has its own challenges, and you're always in the thick of like whatever stage you're actually in, and you're like, yeah, right. But it's true. Like it's all different. But I will say, if there are any other twin parents out there and you are dealing with a newborn, no, you win. You win. I'm sorry, you win. There is no fucking sleep schedule, so you win. It's worse.
Well, and also you have, like you said before we start recording, you said you're because I was talking about how like Wyatt is 2, yours are 2. Well, like Wyatt's about to be 3 in 2 months, literally
Yeah.
2 months from tomorrow, or yeah, 2 months from tomorrow. He's about to be 3, but he's very much in that stage of like I could not imagine having 2 of him, and you're like, oh, I have 2 of him.
Yeah. Wild. I separated them and like because I could because Charlie and I were both home. So I was like Charlie was downstairs with William and upstairs I had Lucas and it
They have
was
this like twin bond where it tries to go through like the ceiling where you're like zzz, zzz.
well, and like eventually Lucas was like, he heard William and we got snacks and milk and he was like, I'm going downstairs with brother, basically. Like he told me in his like 2-year-old voice. And I was like, yeah, okay. But for like 30 minutes, he just played and he was so happy. And you could hear, like, I could tell William was downstairs and he was so happy that they didn't have to share their space and they didn't have to fight with anyone. And I just, for a moment there, I felt like, this is what it's like to be a singleton parent. Like, to all you singleton parents out there, just know you are so lucky. You
Well,
little freaking lucky butts.
just say lucky bitches.
You lucky little bitches.
Come on.
Like,
Be
no,
a, what is it called? A chinchurro?
you're thinking about having a second.
Ticino?
Good for you.
Um, no, the thing is, I think with first ones, you had the bit of having 2 at the same time. It's always the case of the first one makes it's literally like everything you see online. The first one, oh my God, makes me want to have 10 of them. And then the second one's like, nope, I'm
I
good.
didn't even get that. I don't even know what that's like. What is that
No,
like?
you got 2 of the second. So
I
I think what happens is you realize you're kind of outnumbered too, especially if Charlie isn't home, especially if this, and then you're like, well, what the hell? I'm not going to separate one and have him like by himself
no, you
lonely
can't do it on your
upstairs.
own. No. You literally can't do it on your own. But like you can't separate them and give them that time. I can do it in increments. Like so if one is playing happily, let's just preface that, happily on his own, and the other
Against
one
his
like
will.
needs a moment, I can go upstairs and have like I'll do is I'll be like, okay, you're gonna help me load the laundry. Like that's how I distract them. Okay, you're gonna help me. And so that gives them like just a little bit of a break when I'm by myself to like give them that reset of like, oh, I'm my own entity. And it's a good like parenting hack. I think even if you were a
Well,
single mom, but like also for twins, like it helps so much throughout the day. Like break the day up where like Lucas and William both know how to load the laundry or know how to like they know I kind of am a little bit of a control freak. So the dishwasher is like they're
no,
helping.
okay, I was about to say the dishwasher. So both of them like to help, but they like to help in separate times. Thank God. Otherwise it would be too much. I'd have to be like,
Yeah.
Mom, voice is about to erupt right now. But I always take the silverware out and then I'm like,
Yes.
okay, now
The
you
first.
guys can help.
Mm-hmm.
If you touch the silverware, mom voice comes out. If you don't touch the silverware, you're fine. You're safe. Because I'm very much of the like, we're at the age where things are gonna break, things are gonna blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, and the nice pricier stuff is usually probably hand wash only. So I'm like, if something bird drops, it's not the end of the world. But I'm like, if you touch a knife and you get cut and I have to take you to the hospital, we're gonna have problems here. So I'm like,
We're not doing
immediately
that.
I may open the dishwasher and I just pull out this silverware and I put it on the counter. I'm like, I'll do that part. I'm like, you can help me with this part.
Oh, that's nice. I don't, so we don't put anything sharp, really. It's only just like butter knives, forks, and spoons in
Yeah,
the
that's fine.
yeah, so they can put that one away. But Yeah, it's like finding all of these like things that just kind of keep them occupied and keep them
Are
like
do you
engaged.
bake and cook with them?
I really want to, like, since we've moved in, I actually have a baking drawer in my kitchen and I freaking like, I can't wait. So, tomorrow, obviously, or tonight, I'm going to be baking and I
Oh,
would love to bring them into that mix. But, yeah,
I would say save the icing if there's an icing situation that is happening for your limoncello. Let
Mhm.
them help you with it because what I found is that they just want to help. Little kids
Yeah.
just want to help. And it actually teaches them confidence because then when they're doing a good job, they're very like excited about it and they're like, "Oh my God, I did such a great thing. Look at the end work. I'm a freaking chef." Like they are so confident in it and I love seeing that confidence in Forrest. He's always wanted to bake with me. And then Wyatt, he just started wanting to. So I actually posted a reel on my vegan Instagram, which is Danielle.vegan. Um, and I do feel like that is definitely something that you can instill with your kids is just let them be involved because I feel like if they're involved, they're going to also feel accomplishment in themselves, build that
Yeah.
confidence in themselves, and want to help. And guess what? They're
Totally.
also going to grow into these little humans that like to cook and bake. And guess what? They're going to have partners and families in the future, perchance, and they're going to be appreciative of the fact that you taught them how to bake and cook.
Absolutely. I love that my boys are like they're like even if their dad isn't around for lunch, they're like, Dada made this. And I'm like, Dada did make this. I'm like, that's right. Mama didn't make this. Dada made it. So when you get older, you're cooking.
Exactly. Well, I think that's enough about us.